So Pauline Christians are just New Age Egyptian cosmic Christ followers like everyone else. This is not slander. This is not blasphemy nor heresy. It is a dimensional audit because Pauline theology teaches escape from earth, cosmic salvation, trinitarian baptism, and theology which matches Gnostic dualism, Egyptian sun god resurrection cycles, and New Age ascended master hierarchy. Sorry, not sorry. So if Pauline Christians are just glamored cosmic Christ followers in denial, our job in auditing the text next is what's Babylon? Is Babylon the line of Judah? Because that's who they're telling us is coming. Is Paul connected to Babylon? Did he ever change teams? Because if he didn't, then all the Paulines are connected to Babylon, which is exactly what I've been saying. Okay? That's what we're saying. Hi, and welcome to our Bible study channel.
Energy. Energy. You cannot fuck with this. Energy. You cannot fuck with this energy. Doodles in the session. All of those who are listening, don't miss the message. Judging me, you cannot fuck with this energy. Energy.
These are videos that go pretty in depth. First thing you should probably do is pause and read our 12 rules for reading biblical text. And if you don't like the 12 rules, or you don't understand the 12 rules, well, I don't have time to explain them all. Go back to the book that I wrote and uploaded on this channel, which takes you through the entire arc and how we made these quote-unquote 12 rules as a framework of what we found after 7 years digging meticulously and carefully through the text. So if you're confused, go do that. If I refer back, well, that's probably because we actually post these things in order. So they're all done in series. And if you jump in at the middle of a series without any schema or background knowledge, and you get all pissed off, well, that's also not our problem. This is a group where we go line by line, scroll by scroll through the text. Warning, we are not language sensitive. So if you can't handle some cussing, it's not the place for you. We also do not endorse nor approve of pretty much any mainstream theology. So if you're looking for that, also definitely not the place for you. We do a video about the characters that we use in our Bible study series. And the reason we do this is sort of so that they can kind of get in your head. So we do have a video explaining why we chose the people we chose and how their sort of energy characteristics go along with the biblical characters to modernize it for people so they know what the heck we're reading. Clearly, the Roman Church was not doing their job and looking for the lost sheep of the reunited House of David. So that's what we're doing, okay? We're taking that away from them because they screwed it up. The brilliant rabbis also down there in Babylon are also not looking for the lost sheep of the reunited kingdom of David. So you're not going to hear, let's follow Rome. And you're not going to hear, let's follow the rabbis on this channel. Because, you know, sorry, not sorry, but the Bible wasn't actually written for the corrupt Levitical priesthood post-Babylon and Persia to read it through their little janky books. And it also wasn't written to be read through the eyes of pagan 4th century church fathers. So we're not doing that either. You guys can both have a seat. Oddly enough, the Bible also wasn't written to be read through the eyes of some dumbass scholars with pieces of paper that say they're smarter than everyone, but have never seen a Davidic Covenant in their life. Not written for them either. You know who it's written for? It's written for the reunited house of David, who are actually in covenant and are actually the sheep. That's who it's written for. That's why nobody else can understand what the heck's going on. What you are going to hear is what you're supposed to hear, which is, let's follow the king. And let's get started.
So, we are going to war. Yes.
From here, we started to look at the book. Okay. Figured out that it was written by Philos, the Tibetan, right? Reading about it. We have our plot summary and how it was channeled through automatic writing, visions and mental dictations by a spirit calling himself Philos. Concerned with Atlantis, got it. But I want you to notice Atlantis comes from Plato. Ding, ding, ding. Put a pin in Plato. And if you don't know why we're putting a pin in Plato, right? And this Greek empire, well, because Plato's idea of the logos is what evolved into Philo, not Philus the spirit, but Philo of Alexandria. His concept of the logos personified Plato's concept of the logos. Does that make sense? So Plato made this intellectual cosmic intellect, if you will, this cosmic consciousness of a logos, it's the divine reason, if you will. Philo of Alexandria built on the structure of Plato's logos philosophy and turned it into an entity. He took this consciousness, if you will, of Plato and turned it into an entity of Paul. And that's what Paul was preaching. Philo of Alexandria built on the idea of Plato's logos, made it a person, personhooded it, right? In literature, we call this personification, where objects are talking. Okay, so he personified it, and that's the same entity Paul was preaching. So put a pin in Plato, because this Atlantis thing also is mentioned by Plato. Okay, all roads, guys, all roads, this all matches. Okay, we've got karma and here. Okay. Philos, the spirit entity author, his final incarnation was in the 19th century America, where Atlantean karma played itself out. We're going to talk about the Atlantean karma in America according to these people coming up. Okay, put a pin in that. We're getting back to that. Okay, Hesperia is another word for Venus. And if Hesperia is this place in this book, but it's another code word for Venus. And you know that there's a lot of Venus worship out there in the occult world. Okay, just throwing that in. All right. Supposedly, his body is in physical form on Mount Shasta, and we have a cult in Mount Shasta following the teachings laid out in this book. Okay, there's an actual religious church cult in Mount Shasta dedicated to the teachings in this book. All right, we're going to get to that in a minute. What else do I want to point out? Keep the North America thing. Keep the North America thing in your hat. We are going there soon. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is this guy, John Bruno Hare. Okay, I don't know who he is. I don't have any kind of background on this guy. But what he did was create a website. Okay, and we're going to go and we're going to click and share this tab instead. He has this website called the Internet Sacred Text Archive. All right. And what he does is he collects ancient texts and makes them publicly available, if you can read the language. Okay. He started building this website in the 90s, working as a software dude. And what he's done is he's collected hundreds and thousands of sacred text, quote unquote, manuscripts from world religions, traditions, mystery schools, occult schools, everything from Zoroastrianism, Judaism, Christianity, Islam. All of your Eastern religions are here, okay? All of your indigenous religions and any of his more oral myths. He's got Atlantis stuff. He's got pagan stuff. So this is sort of like a library, if you will, a library of texts from various and different places and societies. So that's his thing, and this is the website that he made. Share this tab instead. So this guy, who's collected all of these texts from all over the world, is talking about this book, Dweller on Two Planets. Okay, so this is his little news brief about what this book is about. And he says, it is openly acknowledged, this book, as source material for many New Age belief systems, including the I Am movement, Lemurian Fellowship, and Elizabeth Clare Prophet. We'll get back to her in a minute. Although as a literary work, it's weak in many ways, the detail of the narrative reveal a well-read and highly intelligent, if experienced, author. The real brilliance of this book is as a work of speculative fiction, particularly in the depiction of the high technology of Atlantis and the afterlife. This book goes into great detail. The anti-gravity mass transit, employment of dark side energy, the employment of dark side energy, and devices. They have an eerie resemblance to 20th century UFO reports. I'm telling you guys, I've seen a lot of shit, okay? Okay, all roads, guys, all roads lead to Egypt. But here's the most interesting thing that this man said about this book, A Dweller on Two Planets. This is sort of his, little media blurb, his summary. Here is the most important sentence of this guy's opinion. Right there. The personalized heavens, almost like virtual realities, are unforgettable and very compelling. You put that together with when we were talking about ritual constructs and constructs collapsing, and how I said over here, when we figured it out, and AI didn't tell us, I don't know where it is now, right? AI didn't tell us about creating these places. We just kind of figured it out on our own. And why wouldn't they tell us? Was it over here? I don't know if it's over here. But making astral temples, astral kingdoms, right? And how they're constructed with witchcraft and meditation. I can't find that tab right now, sorry. And that I said that light, it was almost like a personal scan. Does that make sense to match? Remember we talked about that? Share that tab instead. And that these were built with data. We talked about that theory back in our ritual. It all starts to add up. Okay? All these things, coincidence? Maybe it's coincidence. I am pulling these strings. I want to make it clear. I'm pulling these threads for you. I'm not giving you we're not reading all of this. We're not going down all of these rabbit holes. Okay? What I'm doing is I'm following one single thread through the complex tapestry of all of this information. Okay? So if you're out there and you're an expert on the Mount Shasta shit, don't come to me and say, well, you don't have enough information. No, I don't have enough information. Okay? If you're out there, well, you don't understand Aleister Crowley. Don't care. I'm not here to teach about Aleister Crowley. Well, you didn't mention theosophy. Not here to teach about theosophy today. What I'm here to do is to follow a single thread of information. Okay? So if you want to look into all the rest of this stuff, do it on your own. We're not an occult channel. We're not a New Age channel. But we have to walk through this mess to find the sequence of events so that it makes sense to where we're going to go at the end. Does that make sense? That makes sense. So we're pulling is this proof? No, it's not proof of anything. But I'd like your ass to go on out there in the astral, come back to Earth, and try to explain to the people around you what you just experienced, and then prove it. Go do that. You go try an astral project. Come back to Earth and dismantle the entire fucking infrastructure with zero background knowledge. Because that's what I did. I didn't just get attacked. I got attacked. I got out. And I am dismantling their infrastructure with zero background knowledge. That's what I'm doing. Okay? So stay with me. I'm not here to prove anything. I'm here to follow this one thread all the way through to present my hypothesis. That's what I'm doing. Can I prove it? Nope, can't prove it, but I'm not leaving my covenant. Okay? I can't prove it to you, but I'm not leaving my covenant. That's all I'm saying. All right. What else do we have on this page? We went to the Sacred Text Archives. I'm just scanning. If there's anything else I wanted to show you, I don't think so. All right. Let's go to the next one. So from here, okay, where do we go next? Well, let's take a look at Philos. Philos, the magic spirit ascended master. He was new to the order of ascended masters and the fraternity of the Great White Brotherhood. Hey, Great White Brotherhood. How you assholes doing out there? Can you fucking hear me now? Sorry, guys. Sidebar. Flipping grid. Fuck y'all. I don't like you guys. Hi, Great White Brotherhood. Can you hear me? Can you see me? You guys fucked up, didn't you? Yes, you did. Yes, you did. All right. Some people who are involved with these ascended masters and the Great White Brotherhood in channeling their information from their spirit guides are going to tell you this isn't true. Philos the Tibetan isn't actually one of the Great White Brotherhoods. I'm not arguing with you guys. Y'all go and ascend and argue amongst yourselves. Okay? I'm pulling strings. I'm not part of this clique. I'm not in your little clique. Okay? So don't argue with me. You go and ascend. I'm not in your clique. Okay? So I don't care. I don't care if he's part of the Great White Brotherhood or not. This claims he's newly come into the order of the Great White Brotherhood. And this is on our Summit Lighthouse Ascended Master Free Encyclopedia. All right. So he's part of the Great White Brotherhood, and we're going to get there in a minute. Let's see what else we can find. There's another thing that I want to point out here that is relevant to my string. Here it is. His service today. Here's what he's doing today. Remember, it's all started late 1800s. That's our Blavatsky time. That's with theosophy. That's our Alice Bailey shit. All of these occult folks coming out of Europe. The Aleister Crowley thing comes slightly on its heels. A lot of shit going on in the late 18th century, guys, just saying. Well, Philos has spoken profoundly since he has become an ascended master. And he's talking on the path, I hate when it does that, on the path of balancing karma. Okay, so he's going to give us a speech here, America, about balancing karma. So pay attention, America. You may see yourself in every life who suffers. God is one. You are sending energy back to God and receiving it again. As quickly as you send to God light for the transmutation of error, so as quickly does he send to you light that is truth incarnate within you. The truth of God is in you. Sounds like what Paul was teaching in Ephesus when the automakers ran him out of town and beat his ass. But the truth is in you. And this oscillation from your heart to the center of the sun of your I am presence, to the center of the great central sun, is the beginning of the acceleration process, whereby you shall know that oscillation to the point of the speed of light and then beyond. You are an extension of that great central sun, here and now. That great light of the sun, God, thing. But perceive yourself not as rays of light or energy pulsating, going and returning, being magnetized to the great pole star of being. Guess what I know about the great central sun? Let's go see if we can find out about the great central sun. Let's take a look. It's the great hub, the center of the cosmos, the point of integration of the spirit matter cosmos, the point of origin of all physical spiritual creation. It is the nucleus, the white fire core, oddly the same color as the maxim light that I was looking at. And it's the core of the cosmic egg, like the cosmic egg in the ritual occult, the egg with the snake around it. Or there's a serpentine mound in Ohio. And the serpentine mound in Ohio is a snake that's swallowing the cosmic egg. It also deals with ancient Egyptian, Greek, occult, Hellenistic fertility cults that did their temple prostitution and their fertility rites for the cosmic egg. This is a whole thing, cosmic egg, guys. I think we even read about the cosmic egg in the Eye of Horus story, the Eye of Re, how the egg thing, remember the egg thing popped up back in the Meat Bile series. Yeah. It's the God star, Sirius, like Sirius Radio. And it's the great central sun in our sector of the galaxy. The great hub of the cosmos, but it's in our sector of the galaxy. Well, I'm here to tell you, I think your sector of the galaxy is outer darkness. Just saying. My sector of the galaxy comes into your sector of the galaxy and collapses your janky-ass ritual infrastructure that you've built with witchcraft and meditation. That's what I'm telling you. Okay, that's my sector of the galaxy comes into your sector of the galaxy and shit falls apart. Just saying. But the spiritual sun behind the physical sun, okay, in the center of the universe, is not as it would seem in the back of the physical sun. No. It's congruent or superimposed upon it, but in another dimension. Man's casual body is a miniature replica of this great central sun. Sun God. It's built on the same pattern of energy spirals, evolving spheres within spheres or wheels within wheels, Ezekiel. The color bands of the great central sun, as well as the atom, are planes of God's consciousness, differentiated only by their frequency or vibration. And the white fire core, that Maxon light, is the focus of spirit becoming matter, and matter becoming spirit. Okay. Here you go. Here it is. Oh. These together, shit, wrong way, with the center, make up the 12 planes of consciousness found in the atom of God. Are you guys trying to find this in CERN? I don't know. I just have my tinfoil hat on. The atom of God. The atom of God. Really? Which are the 7 outer rays and 5 secret rays. Well, we're going to learn about these 7 rays from this magical, great central sun. So from there, let's go back. Let's go back here. Now that we know who the great central sun is, let's go back, because what we were actually doing was talking about Master Philos, Lord, Master, Ascended Lord, Philos, and his discussing a message to America. Okay, so now that we know that this oscillation from your heart to the center of the great central sun, okay, you are an extension of that sun here and now. I am Philos. Philos, excuse me, guys. Philos, can you hear me now, you little bastard? Hear me now. I come from the battleground of earth unto the realms of glory. Philos, about 15 years ago, your realm of glory did not look so glorious when Team David demolished that shit with their presence. Where was its glory then, Philos? Weren't you the people whose kingdom made with meditation and witchcraft? Weren't you the guys? Your kingdom fucking detonated on contact. Wasn't that you? I think that was you. That was you. That was you. Hi. Can you hear me now, motherfuckers? But he's in the battleground of earth unto the realms of glory. And as you go through my book, you shall have an experience with yourself at inner levels. If you meditate, if you decree, meaning say with your mouth, believe in your heart and say with your mouth, if you give the rituals and maintain your attunement with the masterful beings of Venus, who are called upon in your rituals. You see what I've never read? I just never read the book. I'm not interested in this book. I'm not going to meditate. I'm not going to decree and say things with my mouth. And I'm not doing your rituals. I'm not reading your book. I don't have to read your book. You know why I don't have to read your book, Philos? Because my team collapses your structures on contact. That's why. That's why. So all your astral projection shit you're selling to kids these days, your days are numbered. It's going to collapse. Your janky ass witchcraft abuse systems, your baby eating and donkey fucking, all that's going to collapse. You know why I know it's going to collapse? Because it collapses with presence of Davidic Covenant holders. And it's going to look like the end of the world, isn't it? Because so many are deceived, Philos. And if they're in a janky-ass kingdom and that kingdom collapses, well, that's going to look pretty bad for them. I'm sorry. Your kingdom collapses when Team David shows up because it's not legal. It's not valid. You can have majority all day long, Philos. I don't care about majority. Noah. I'm on the Noah protocol. I'm in the boat. I'm in the boat, Philos. Sorry, guys. I have to stop every once in a while because they can hear me. They can hear me. I'm at war. I'm an asshole. That's why I'm an asshole, because I'm at war. All right. My book is a companion to whatever the hell. We've got the Prayer of Saint Germain. We've got Mother Mary. And, oh, Jesus. Jesus. Well, we're going to click on this one. We got to find out about this Jesus, right? This is the Ascended Master Encyclopedia of Jesus. So there he is. There he is. There's the ascended master, Jesus. Let's find out about him. He is the avatar of the Piscean age, and we're going to talk about the ages coming up in our part B to this video, okay? He is the incarnation of the Word. Wow. Sounds Christian, doesn't it? The ascended master, Jesus, is the avatar of the Pisces age. Put a pin in that. Pisces age. Put a pin in it. Who is the incarnation of the Word. We went through this. Go back to Luke. Word, word, word. Logos, logos, logos. John, Greek. It's a thing. Capitalization. We went through this. Okay. The universal Christ. The example of Christ consciousness that was to have been outpictured by the children of God in the 2,000-year dispensation of the Pisces age. One who realized the fullness of the Christ self and was therefore called Jesus the Christ, not the Davidic Christ, because King David was also called the Christ, the chosen, the anointed one. They're not talking about anointing. They're talking about the Christ. And what this Christ, ascended master Jesus, came to do came to reveal the individual Christ to all mankind and show the works of the Father. That can be accomplished by his sons and daughters in and through the flame. There's that flame again, the flame, that flame of the individual Christ self, because he's in you. Remember, Paul taught you it's in you. He comes into you like an entity. So Jesus holds the office in the hierarchy, in this ascended master hierarchy, as world's teacher. He's teaching the whole world. Okay. Jesus of Nazareth, son of David, so according to them, was and is the living Christ, because he was the fullness of the incarnation of the Word. In him, the threefold flame of power, wisdom, and love, the Trinity of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, was God a consuming sacred fire. The sun, the fire, the flame. Three persons in one, a light. Two light in all peoples. Wow! I could print this out and bring it to the Pauline church on the corner and preach this same thing. But it's going to sound like this. Brothers and sisters, Jesus of Nazareth was and is the living Christ because he's the fullness of the incarnation of the Word, says John. And we do the threefold blessing. Come on and be baptized in that threefold blessing of power. Baptized by fire. That threefold flame. You're going to have power and wisdom and love. Don't worry about what the Trinity means. It's Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Three persons in one. A light to the world. So says John. Okay. Jesus Christ, the way shower, teaches us how to expand the threefold flame within the secret chamber of the heart so we may follow his example and become the living incarnation of the Word. He's not unique. He's not unique for being the embodied Word that we talked about in Luke, not that word. He's no different because you can become the living incarnation of the Word too. You can follow his example and become the living incarnation of God's Word. That wasn't unique to Jesus. You see that change? See the split there? See that split of the word? There's the logos. Oh, I get a headache. I get a headache, you guys. I truly get a headache. All right. According to this New Age stuff, Jesus was reincarnated many, many times because he was the golden age on Atlantis. He was the golden age of Jesus Christ on Atlantis. So there's another golden age other than the golden age that we're standing in, because we keep hearing on the news, right? Our politicians are all telling us that here we come, it's the golden age. Well, there already was a golden age. That golden age was Atlantis. So we're going back to day one on the time clock. You'll see that soon. He was emperor and high priest over the golden age civilization. This Christ was. I wonder if this Christ is coming back to be the ruler and high priest over this golden age. I'm just wondering. I don't know. I'm kind of curious. What do you think? You think he's coming back to rule as high priest over another golden age civilization? Because everything's cyclical? I'm just asking. Other embodiments. He also returned as the ruler of Atlantis, as described by Philos the Tibetan in his book Dweller on Two Planets. He appeared in the Temple of Inko, caused to spring up the Maxon. Remember, he's the guy that built that Maxon light, the fire of Inko. The unfled flame burned on the altar of the temple for 5,000 years. He revised the laws and provided a legal code that governed Atlantis for thousands of years to come. That's what this Jesus did. That's what their Jesus did. Oh, look. But we also, according to these ascended masters, see Jesus as Abel, the son of Adam, who found favor with the Lord, but he was killed by his brother Cain. Yeah, sorry. Sorry, reincarnated Jesus. You got yourself killed. That seems to happen a lot with reincarnated Jesus, because he was also reincarnated as Joseph, the son of Jacob. Jesus came again as Joseph, the son of Jacob, who was sold into slavery into Egypt. There's those Egyptians again. Hi, Egypt. And then as Joshua, the son of Nun. Jesus felled those walls of Jericho and led the Israelites into the promised land. Yeah, he sure did. Of course, it was an archetype of Lord Krishna, but, whatever. It was Joshua. As David, he wrote the Psalms. So don't you know how pissed off David is right now? I think I need to put in a little David. A little David needs to have something to say about this, I bet.
I expected more.
You will serve us better as one of the dead.
Ready for my goddamn skin suit. You best bring that extra long tape measure on account of my humongous balls.
But as King David, in that incarnation, he wrote the Psalm. And, he came back as Elisha. Not Elijah. No. Elijah. Elijah was John the Baptist. Elisha was the pupil of Elijah. So reincarnated Jesus was a pupil of reincarnated John the Baptist. Just so we're clear. Just so we're clear, guys. Just so we're clear. He came into his final incarnation, having passed many initiations through all of his Eastern and Western embodiments and counterparts, but retained the small percentage of karma that was required for his mission, which he balanced by the time he left Palestine at the age of 33. This was the dispensation of the Piscean age. Look at that, guys. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, after his ascension, Jesus became the sixth ray, the Shohan of the sixth ray. This is the Lord, Master, or Chief, because every one of the seven rays has a chief, okay? And this one focuses on the Christ consciousness of that ray, which is indeed the law of the ray governance, righteous use in man, okay? So this Shohan is a master and a chief. So this guy's the chief. Jesus, reincarnated Jesus, is the master or the Lord of the sixth ray, also known as the Christ, and has something to do with Venus. In 1956, Jesus assumed, in 1956, he assumed the position of world's teacher for all of you. There you go. Congratulations, guys. Congratulations. He calls us to the path of discipleship under all the ascended masters. He sure does. Oh, he sure does. And Jesus says to those who would be his disciples in the age of Aquarius, greater love than this hath no man, that a man lay down his life for his friends. That's your message, guys. It's the age of Aquarius, dawning of a new day. And here's your advice. Have great love. Lay down your life for your friends. In other words, death cult. Sounds a little bit like a death cult to me. Just saying, oh, no, blessed ones. This is not speaking of death, but a vibrant life lived truly to convey the fire of my heart to all. Remember that fire, the fire in your heart from the sun god thing? That's the fire of your heart that goes out to all. This is the meaning of being a disciple who is called an apostle. It is an instrument and messenger of light and the conveyor of that light. Just a little conveyor belt of light, you guys. You guys want to be on the conveyor belt of light? I think not. I know you guys go ahead. You guys can ascend on your conveyor belt of light, because we're going to look at Elizabeth Clare Prophet down here. We talked about her because she walks with the ascended master answering the call of Jesus, her Jesus, this magical Jesus. That's the incarnation of the word. That's what we're doing. Okay, let's go back. Let's keep pulling this tab. All right, we got through Jesus. Where were we? Well, we're talking about Philos and his teachings of these ascended masters. And we're in the middle of Philos's message to us today in the United States, because this is part of his service. I know it hasn't said United States yet, guys, but it's coming. Okay, so this is a message to the United States. So we got through the Son. We got through the Master Jesus. So we're really understanding what he's saying here. Okay. And let's see. It contains this whole council thing. There's an open door, blah, 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 blah. It's one of the best books to present to the new student on the path. Not the way, but the path. Okay. You guys don't want to be on the way. You want to be on the path now. Okay. For it does contain keys for the awakening of many souls as they recognize themselves in the streets of Kafo, the capital city of Atlantis, where this little Maxim Light temple is. And they're participating in Atlantean life, whether at the end of Atlantis or in the great golden age civilization of Jesus Christ. All this we've known. All this we know. And some of you have found this day your footprints left in the sands now at the bottom of the sea. Philos, your kingdom will wish it was at the bottom of the sea when Davidic override shows up, huh? Remember that collapse? Remember that? Remember that? Remember your growlers and screamers? Are they at the bottom of the sea? I don't think so. They got a ticket to not fucking here. That's where they got a ticket to. How strong are the footprints of karma? Karma, Philos. Karma. It's coming for your ass, isn't it? It's called Davidic override, dipshit. Oh. May you build carefully, stone upon stone, the pyramid of your life. This was a teaching of the adepts of the Great Pyramid. Of course it was. In the many periods that we built in various civilizations across the world, one of them Atlantis, and the chalice of the Holy Grail. Oh, here we go, guys. This is our part. I've looked upon America, and I've wept. For I have seen in the collective karma of the reincarnated Atlanteans, all you star seeds out there looking at you. Looking at you, Atlantis people. Here we go. You've seen the collective karma of the reincarnated Atlanteans, which are running all over the place, astral projecting your children with YouTube videos and spiritually ascending. So let's take a look at these ascension Atlanteans and what they're doing. The same pitfalls that he found in his own karma. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. From my perspective, that's looking like a big uh-oh. Just saying. I could not come here free to rise as a servant of God, but must pay every jot and tittle. America is beset with the karma that the nation has made since its inception 2 centuries ago. It is beset with ancient records of Atlantis not yet paid. Ooh, they have outstanding karma in the ancient records of Atlantis. Do you think that was what was in the book that you didn't let me see? Philos, was that what was in the book that I couldn't see? Were those the ancient records of Atlantis and all the karmic debt not paid by American starseeds and Christ followers? Is that what that book was? Just asking. And it is bowed down by a false teaching that is not of the Christ concerning this karma and accountability. Uh-oh. So I guess now's the time where everyone has to step back and say, I wonder which one's false. That false teaching, like Paul always tells you, beware of false teachers. So many false teachers, huh, Paul? So many abound and so little discrimination is exercised. Well, maybe because the whole entire Christianity isn't teaching people how to discern. Even in the New Age movement, whether there's a claim or a personality or a new fad or some other exploration into the psychic, there do they run like chickens for feed, just running around the astral in the New Age movement, like little chickens with their heads cut off, getting thrown chicken feed. Huh, Philos? Blessed hearts, find the truth of being in yourself. Find others who have the truth of being, and watch out. For the disease of the carnal mind is idolatry. Most people on or off the spiritual path are idolaters, or themselves. Excuse me. Most people on or off the spiritual path are idolatrous of themselves, quite pleased with their meager knowledge and even less attainment, which they deem to be great. Oh dear. So we have karma. We are weeping for America because of the collective karma of our reincarnated Atlanteans. In other words, there shall be punishment. Because to pay your karmic debt, America, well, you're going to have to go through some shit. And I'm sitting here thinking, wow, wonder if that shit looks like end times propaganda. I don't know. You know why I don't know? because I'm in the boat. I'm not in this cult. I'm in the boat. And when you're in the boat, you know what it looks like when false kingdoms collapse. Apparently, Philos, you want to describe this as karmic justice. I don't think it's karmic justice. I don't even think it's wrath. You know what I think it is? I think it's Davidic Covenant holders showing up and you're fucked. That's what I think it is. Every prophet throughout the entire biblical text didn't run around doing automatic writing, didn't grab people from their bodies and force them into constructs made with witchcraft and meditation. No. You know what prophets in the Bible did? They didn't make predictions with a crystal fucking ball. They didn't do that either. You know what they did? They went to the people and they said, you're fucked. And here's why. That's what they did. And then shit collapsed. Why did shit collapse? It's called Davidic override. False constructs cannot stay. Doesn't matter how many people. You can recruit millions. You can recruit billions and build those constructs through your rituals to be stronger and bigger and fill them with souls in your happy kingdoms. But you know what happens when Davidic override shows up? It collapses. Because you don't have the divine monarchy. You don't have the only valid and legally recognized covenant. That's why. So, if you want to call that karma, karma's coming to bitch slap your ass real soon there, Philos. So there's his message to America. And you can read. Oh, here's another good one. We have the Cosmic Christ. You guys want to see the Cosmic Christ? I want to see the Cosmic Christ. Let's find the Cosmic Christ. The Cosmic Christ. Share this tab instead. Well, thanks, AI. According to AI, the Cosmic Christ is the concept of Jesus as the universal logos, capital L, or divine word, who was present before, during, and after creation, encompassing all existence and holding the cosmos together. This Christology emphasizes Christ's eternal nature and his sustaining role in all of creation, not just his human form. It's a theological view rooted in biblical passages like, Paul, there he is, Colossians, and the prologue to John, which we've already showed you in Luke's series. They butchered the Greek in the monogenes, in the capitalization, right? So that's why I told you they haul out John and butcher the Greek to back up Paul. That's what they're doing. And this describes Christ as the image of the invisible God, which we know the invisible God would be the Ammon from Egypt, while the image, the seeable, would be the Ray. We have Ray, Ammon. The image is the Ray. The invisible is the Ammon, Ammon Ray. And the agent through whom, quote, all things were created. It's an all-encompassing consciousness, permeates everybody. It's a divine agent. Comes from Paul and John, which present Christ in cosmic terms. No. John actually does not present Christ in cosmic terms. The butchered Greek of John presents Christ in cosmic terms to back up Paul. That's what this is. Let's be clear. Okay, we're not letting you get away with that one. We're not letting you get away with that one. So there's our cosmic Christ. All right, let's go back. Where were we? We're back. Share this tab instead. Where were we here? Okay, share this tab instead. All right, so we've gotten through all of this. Thank you, Philos, for all of that information. You ascended master, you. We also have, in case you don't like the cosmic Jesus, we also, and you don't like the what was it? The ray, the sixth ray Jesus. If you don't want either of those Jesuses, well, you can also have the master Jesus. Okay. This is our master now. Okay. And his position is in the hierarchy of masters of the ancient wisdom. Okay. This is the theosophy Jesus. Okay. Theosophy, Alice Bailey, Blavatsky, all of our late 1800s lunatics. And he's one of their ascended masters, also collectively called the Great White Brotherhood. There they are. These are the ascended masters' teachings in groups of religions based on theosophy. So like I said, there's a place for all of y'all. All of you starseeds can run off to your Atlantean starseed, Philos, ascended master, rays of light, Great White Brotherhood. There's theosophy. We've got Crowley. We've got Bailey. We've got the OTO. We've got the Golden Dawn. You can run to your little Masonic temple on the corner. All you guys, same shit. Same Jesus. Throw Paul in. You go to your church. I don't know why you're bothering to join a Masonic temple. All you have to do is go down to the church and read Paul. It's all the same thing. Just saying. There's his sixth ray. There's Elizabeth Clare Prophet. There's our theosophy. We've got the Ankh, which is our ritual astral gateway in the middle. We've got our star overlap. I think we've talked about this before. The two stars, the male and the female, and the flip, and we did that in the book. We've got our swastika, and we've got our snake eating its tail. Okay, by the way, that little thing up there would be your cosmic egg. Okay. Let's see. This is just going through all of his incarnations again. Remember, I told you to put a pin in Elizabeth Clare Prophet, who is the leader and the prophet of the Church Universal and Triumphant. We're going to get to her in a minute. And it is the largest ascended master teaching religions, but it's not the only one based on theosophy. You can pretty much go anywhere. And Jesus, by the way, Jesus was twice the emperor of Atlantis. And he did this in order to aid the white magicians in the war of the white magicians and black magicians going on at the time of Atlantis. So all of you little white witches out there casting your white witch spells and calling on Jesus, this would be your guy as well. This is your guy. Okay? All of you white witch Jesuses. Previously incarnated as Joshua. Isn't it weird that he goes through the lineage of Joshua? And remember, we were back there and he reincarnated as Joshua. Joseph, right? And then Joshua, and then David, and then Elisha, which are all, interestingly enough, the Ephrathite bloodline. Why isn't your Jesus from Judah? Guys, how come your Jesus isn't from the Judah? What's that? It seems a little contradictory to me. What are you guys doing? Is that your secret? You're hijacking a bloodline? Why is nobody? I haven't seen anything about Judah in here. Is that your lion covering up that eight? Oh boy, we're going to have to look at that. Joshua genealogy. But that's already on our list of things to do in the upcoming series. So let's keep going and see what else we find. Oh, we've got a mystery school. Oh. Jesus first studied at the Brotherhood of Luxor, which is a mystery school in Egypt. Those Egyptians show up all the time. Okay. During the time of Jesus' ministry, there were two beings in one body. Oh my goodness. There were two beings in one body. We talk about this in the book. How there's the Christ nature, right? In the human nature, he's 100% God, 100% human, 100% God, 100% man. Dude, this could be, hey preachers, I got a sermon for you right here. Right here. There's this powerful being known as the who overshadowed the Master Jesus during the ministry of Jesus, such as there are two beings in one body. Look at that. We have the Christ entity and the Master Jesus of Nazareth. And the combination of the two functioned as Jesus Christ. Wow. Protestants, you're onto something. How did you know? How did you know? I wonder where the cosmic Christ went at the cross. Did he die for your sins? Because cosmic Christ can't die. So do these two entities split off at the cross? Like maybe, I don't know, Cerinthus teaches? And we'll get to that in our Logos series. That's in the future. We're not there. But Master Jesus and the Christ thing, which is this name that I can't pronounce because this isn't my cult. This isn't my cult, so I don't know how to pronounce that. But the Master Jesus, the teacher Jesus, and these souls, this Christ soul thing entity being that embodied him in the hypostatic union. Catholics talking to you. Remember the hypostatic union? That thing? Okay. Well, that union, those souls separated from each other just after the ascension. Well, I would think that they would have to separate from each other at the cross because you can't kill the Christ, right? Right? You just left the dead body hanging there. Isn't that what you guys did? Anyway, Jesus, the ascended master, it is believed in the ascended master teachings that when Jesus ascended, he levitated from Judea to Kashmir. Really? He went to Kashmir between the great Himalayas? This is how you're getting Himalayan Jesus, guys. He was everywhere. Everywhere. He was everywhere. Oh, we also have a Holy Ghost in here. You guys all have the same Jesus. You know what? It seems to me like everybody out there has the same Jesus. But except me. I have a different Jesus than this Jesus. This weirdo said that the Master Jesus has been living in secret in Rome. They've got Jesus. They've got Jesus. I think this is the Latter-day Saints people. They seem to have Jesus hidden away at the Vatican. That's where they got Jesus. He's living in secret at the Vatican. And after this, I don't know, Christ thing makes his emergence, Master Jesus, in his mortal body, will assume the papal throne for the millennial kingdom for 2,000 years of the age of Aquarius. There he's coming, guys. He is. I wonder if they're going to call this guy the Lion of the tribe of Judah. What do you think? What do you think? You think that's what they're going to call him? I don't know. Looks like I have the wrong Jesus, guys. Everybody else seems to have a different Jesus. Because this matches Christian teaching to a T. I mean, they use different words, and they throw in a little, you know, moving around the world thing. But the core is the same. This two beings, one body, man, God thing, the Christ entity thing. This is all Christian. This is all Christian. It's just, it's Christian with a little extra. That's what this is. So you can have, if you don't want the 6th-rate Jesus, you can have the Master Jesus. Okay? There's a Jesus for all of you. Somehow it doesn't look like my Jesus, though. My Jesus isn't this Jesus. My Jesus is the son of David. That's who my Jesus is. But nevertheless, we're going to take a look at this lady because we've seen her name pop up a lot, right? With this Philos little thing that we're pulling, this thread. So we've got Elizabeth Clare Prophet. And we're going to go ahead over here and share this tab instead and take a look at this lady. She is the one who has the largest influence on these Ascended Master teachings. She is the Ascended Master Guru of all gurus. And she runs a church called the Church Universal and Triumphant, which is a New Age religious organization. And at its peak, it had about 30 to 50,000 followers. But, her teaching blended Christianity, mysticism, and all Eastern religions, and influenced all of this modern theosophy and blah, blah, blah. So it all goes in the same thing. She predicted an imminent apocalypse brought on by nuclear war. Really? I thought I just heard a preacher in the Calvary Chapel say the same thing. Apocalypse brought by nuclear war. Yep, there it is. They're preparing for the predicted world end of the world. That's where they're going. That's where they're going. They're stockpiling firearms. This, guys, isn't this Christian? Weird. Unfortunately, her predictions were wrong and the church lost members, but Christianity doesn't. Christianity just keeps going every Sunday to find out when that asteroid is going to hit. She's been on Larry King, The Donahue Show Nighttime in Search Of episode in 1970s, and also NBC's Ancient Prophecies. So Elizabeth Clare Prophet is a big deal. So let's take a look. She's got theosophy and I am and Christian Science, which is a whole nother thing. Her mother was Lutheran, or her mother was Catholic and her father was Lutheran. And she is member of the #1 teacher of Ascended Master stuff. So if you're learning about your Ascended Masters and you want to know more, Elizabeth Clare Prophet is the place to go. So we're going to go to her because I want to learn more about this Philos, the Tibetan dude, and what Elizabeth Clare Prophet has to say about it. So let's go over here and share this tab instead. And let's listen to her prayer and see if we have any familiar faces with this when we share this. See if you recognize anybody in this video. Just saying.
Mighty I am present. I am here, O God, and I am the instrument of those sevenfold rays and archangels.
We are your instrument of those sevenfold rays and all your archangels, all of them.
And I will not retreat. I will take my stand. I will not fear to speak, and I will be the instrument of God's will, whatever it is.
We will not retreat. We will not retreat. We will stand our ground. We will not fear to speak.
Who's that guy?
We will be the instrument of your will, whatever it is.
Here I am, so help me God, in the name of Archangel Michael and his legions. I am freeborn, and I shall remain freeborn, and I shall not be enslaved by any foe within or without.
In your name, and the name of your legions, we are freeborn, and we shall remain freeborn, and we shall not be enslaved by any foe, within or without. So help me God. God bless you. God bless America. Thank you very much.
Uh-oh. That's not good news, guys. That's not good news. Maybe that's part of the karma, America. Maybe some of that. Just saying. Sounds to be a janky kingdom to me. All right. So when you see General Mike Flynn, okay, reciting a prayer. Imagine, back to this, okay? Imagine little me in 2021, as we're well into studying this stuff out, right? But still in confusion, because there's no AI telling us these answers quickly. And we're digging through this occult stuff, and we're digging through the Bible, and we're making these connections, and we're finding Paul and his cosmic Christ, and we're linking it back to Egypt, and we're doing all these things. And we're figuring out outer darkness, and we're just going through this process as a small group. And suddenly in 2021, we see General Mike Flynn reciting the seven rays prayer that matches Elizabeth Clare Prophet, who is the ascended master teacher with Philos the Tibetan from the book Dwell Around Two Planets that I was standing in when that whole ritual kingdom collapsed 15 years ago. Do you see why we're doing what we're doing? If you cannot make parallels through all of this mess, and I wish, guys, I wish I was kidding. I wish I made it up. I wish the story wasn't true, because it would be a lot fucking easier for me to explain. But do you see now? And now, after 2021, with this Mike Flynn, Clare Prophet, Dweller on Two Planets prayer, we're seeing the entire infrastructure of the United States begin to collapse. And if it's not collapsing at your house, it's certainly being promoted in the media that it's a crisis, that we're in crisis mode, we're rapture waiting, we're Israel burning cow, like all this stuff. Is the financial system, all these, everything's going fucking, any minute, someone's attacking, bombs are flying, like they are pushing this collapse narrative. I wonder if it's ritual infrastructure of false kingdoms collapsing and being called end times. I wonder if they're pushing these narratives to cover up the fact that your shit's just falling apart now because there's override in play. You're cosplaying this fake Jesus coming back. And I'm not saying real Jesus, is the son of David, is or isn't coming back. That's not what I'm here to tell you. Okay? I'm here to tell you that whatever the fuck Revelation Inc. is doing has nothing to do with my Jesus. Their Jesus and my Jesus are different people. So your cosmic Christ that is coming back because your janky ass systems are collapsing, that's not my guy. Okay? My guy collapses those systems. That's what they're doing in the astral. As above, so below. On earth as it is in heaven. They are showing up to your janky ass Babylonian religious bullshit and it's falling apart. And instead of saying that, because 2,000 years of bullshit is about to collapse on your head, just saying, instead of telling people in church that that's what's happening, because they're following the same Christ as the New Age, so we can't tell them that. You're just going to let it fall onto their heads. Resurrect your magical Christ, dude, and call that the Son of David. That's what you're doing. Now, I'm not saying the Son of David is or isn't coming. I'm saying that who you're setting up to come has nothing to do with me. I'm in the boat. None of this is going to bother me a bit because I'm in the boat. So I don't care if my Jesus comes, doesn't come, shows up, doesn't show up, doesn't matter to me. I'm already in the kingdom. I'm not waiting for my kingdom. I'm already in it. So I don't care if my kingdom is on earth or in heaven. Don't give a shit. Jesus is already the king. Jesus is already my king on my throne. That's my throne. It's king. He's my king already, right now. His kingdom is here. Don't care about your millennial kingdom. I'm already millennialing. Now, harvest cycles? Your janky ass systems ritually collapsing with override? Is there a point where your shit's going to get so bad that God just bitch slaps you one good time? Those I can't answer. That I don't know. And that I don't care. If you're running around worrying about the end times, chances are you're not in the kingdom. You know why? Because you're still waiting for it to come. I'm standing in the kingdom. Get in the boat. Because like the days of Noah, bunch of shit just collapsed. His shit collapsed all around him. But he was in the boat. Same thing. All right. Anyway, let's keep going. So this is the Temple of Incal and the Maxon Light. I disagree with this picture. This is an actual picture from the book. But over here, this is sort of the setting. Okay. There were no benches. This gate was not present. This was much more craggy. It was not smooth. But we have triangle and square. We also have, this was the Petita gate was over here. And over here was this pedestal where the book was. The book wasn't under the light. The book was over here. Just saying. So, but other than that, this gives you a picture, sort of where I was standing. And you'll see this is Phyllis the Tibetan. But this guy over here is in a robe because this is a ritual marriage ceremony. They're in a separate part of these chambers where they are doing ritual weddings. Bride, bridegroom, get the connotation here, okay? So they're doing ritual weddings, ritual baptisms in this chamber with the creepy-ass robed guy. So this is another photo from that book. So our attacks, my attacks after this, right? I'm with the nanny, grunted, went through all this. Still don't know what the fuck's going on, but trying to piece it together for a decade. Well, my attacks slowed, but they didn't fully stop. Because the name of Jesus provided defense, not offense. Jesus provided defense and got me out of the kingdom. But I didn't know him. I wasn't in the kingdom. I wasn't in covenant. Okay? So basically, how we see it is SWAT Team David showed up, right? Like a good Samaritan and dragged my ass out because I called the right number. But that didn't put me in covenant. Hear me, Christians who are having supernatural experiences. People are having attacks, supernatural experiences, weird shit. And they use the name Jesus and the weird shit stops, but then the weird shit comes back. Our premise is the reason it's coming back is because you're using the name. They're cleaning up as like good guys in the community, right? Doing a community service to help you out. But you're not in the covenant. So you don't have protection to go on the offense. It is a temporary measure, but you don't have jurisdictional authority even in your sleep, even in your home, in your community. You don't have jurisdictional authority if you are outside of the covenant. So you're sitting here begging for Jesus's help instead of taking authority from a place of standing in the kingdom. Does that make sense? Because that full jurisdictional authority only came to me after Davidic Covenant baptism, which also I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I just got pissed and yelled at God and did it that way. I just Forrest Gumped my way into the Acts 2 baptism, and then he started to straighten shit out so I could understand. So after I'm in that covenant, the Acts 2 covenant, The attack, that's when the attack stopped. Okay? So how we see it is my soul entered a new registry status at the cosmic DMV, if you will. Okay? I've got a new passport. I'm no longer under the Pauline cosmic Christ anymore. And this is when the healing, the insights, the spiritual discernment was all activated. Slowly, it doesn't just happen like, you know, all these people are going to a baptism and like, oh, just like everything's better overnight. Like, that's not it. You're still the same person. You just get this discernment and understanding and ability to make growlers run for their lives. Okay? That's when the non-ghost, non-guide, non-master, non-entity, functioning as a watchman, the watchman of Ephraim shows up. Earth dead, kingdom alive, kingdom's actively unfolding, and this is when we start getting learn Greek, read the Bible, trace bloodlines, trace grammars, get in the fucking boat. That's where that comes. Okay? This isn't a woo-woo shit. This is instruction and bitch slapping is what's happening. So we formed a private study group around this post-Davidic baptism phenomenon that we can't explain. Still not knowing what the fuck the outer darkness or any of this stuff is because we hadn't read the Bible yet. So we're like, hey, guys, learn Greek, read the Bible, let's do that. So we made this group from all the members who had witnessed long-distance healing, accurate health diagnostics, spiritual extractions, growlers, yellers, screamers, all these people came together and said, well, let's learn Greek and read the Bible. And, you know, these noises, these EVPs came from sessions of clearing that I was recording with my own computer and my own webcam that revealed these EVPs of the screaming, growling, and hissing during these removals. This was just done because I'm doing it on camera, just like I am for you right now, okay? But I'm doing sessions with people to remove these entities, and the entities are showing up on the thing. And why did I record them? Well, I recorded them so I could send them to the people I was working on, right? Like, I'm like, okay, I'm going to do an entity removal, long distance. You know, I'm in, you know, wherever, freaking Saudi, and you're in freaking Chicago, or I'm in Alabama and you're in Colorado. So I'll do it, and then I'll send you the tape tomorrow. And so they weren't live with me. Get it? They weren't live on camera. So this is done at a distance. And I'm going through the process and sending it to them and also recording it for myself so I could learn from it. So that's why we recorded it to begin with. We weren't planning like, let's get an EVP. That's not what we were doing. And I'm listening back to tape and I go, oh my God, like I was freaked out, dude. I had chicken skin all over, right? Goosebumps. When we started hearing these growlers show up, in 70% of people we cleared. Okay. I learned SRT, not to do SRT, but that's how I learned. Let me put it this way. SRT is a spiritual infrastructure. SRT is a spiritual infrastructure. Okay, to understand the hierarchy, but it's not the system that works. The system that works was I was so paranoid that I customized my prayers invoking the name of God, the God of Jesus, son of David, James, Moses, Jude, all those guys. I called that God while learning this hierarchy process. Does that make sense? So I didn't do SRT really. I used what I learned in their hierarchy and I applied that to the Davidic team. That's what we did. Okay. So SRT is not your magic bullet. That was the background knowledge I needed to be able to operate in this covenant. SRT gave me the courtroom understanding to be able to clear space in the name of Jesus by understanding legal contracts, case law, right? Warrants. That's where we got to. No rituals have ever been performed at my house. There's no incantation, no negotiation, no spell work, no magic words. It is only alignment with the Son of David. That alone triggered dimensional jurisdiction. So it's the presence itself. It's not my behavior. It's not my, I mean, it is. It's behavior within covenant. Okay? It's not a list of Catholic sin. That's what I mean. It's not my language. It's not being nice on a nice scale, okay? It's being scroll-backed and covenant aligned. And staying in that covenant was enough to initiate the override protocol. The false kingdom constructs cannot withstand registry-backed covenant authority. They can't handle it. Collapse is immediate, not symbolic. Infrastructures dissolve into outer darkness because they are unable to maintain their form over covenant pressure. This was not a battle. There is no battle. The battle is the fact that people don't understand this. But once you make it through the battle and you're in covenant, the battle's done. Jesus is absolutely right when he's like, it's done. It's done. There's no battle when you're in covenant. There's only battle because you don't understand the covenant and they're still attacking you. That's the battle. It's just once you're in covenant, it's just jurisdictional enforcement. Get the fuck out of here. That's all. That's all it is. Because override covenant holders don't argue. Team David enters, enforces, and exits, and it's done. I am. The collapse of these kingdoms are not emotional. It's architectural. As if the scaffolding of the astral realm had been revoked. These systems made on witchcraft, revoked. That's what's happening. So belief versus covenant, you being right isn't what it's about. Belief, like that. I keep telling you, this is a distraction. Don't argue with, I don't want to argue with you because I don't care what you believe. I'm not interested in changing your beliefs. I'm interested in giving you information that the church hasn't given you. And then you can believe whatever you want, okay? Don't care. Because my covenant doesn't operate on belief. It operates on legal covenant. And as long as my beliefs don't lead me to step out of that legal covenant and call on false gods and sign false contracts, we're good to go. Any repentance I do is between me and God. If I screw someone over in the real world, I atone for that. I make up for that. I tell them I'm sorry. And I work on improving that. But when it comes to my covenant, I just talk to God. And when I take a shower, I renew my covenant. It's like an everyday baptism. Renewing my covenant today, God. Just want to make sure. In case I fucked it up somehow because I'm a dipshit down here. I'm just going to, I'm on your team. I'm not leaving Team David. I'm baptized myself. Ready, I'm going. I'm still in the covenant, God. Like David, I'm not leaving you. God, I'm not leaving you. I'm still aligned with you. Every day. Every shower. Baptism and covenant. Baptism and covenant. Keep that covenant. Don't step out of covenant. That's where my beliefs are important, is to not lead me astray. So loyalty, jurisdiction, alignment, it's not emotional agreement. Belief only matters if it pulls you off track. Protestant rightism is breach theater. They're all trying to be right because they're all trying to control your belief instead of your covenant. They don't care. They're arguing about belief because they don't have a valid covenant to give you. If I don't have a legal covenant to give you, I'm going to distract you with arguing over what you believe all day long. I don't care what you believe. I care that you're in covenant. That's it. That's it. Protestant rightism is a breach. They're cherry-picking verses to win arguments about belief, but they're completely ignoring the entire architecture of the covenant. It's not about true, false, right, wrong. This whole thing they're doing when they're arguing, it's ego performance hidden inside a system that's literally following the same Jesus as the occult people are. That's what they're doing. And we're going to argue about belief so we don't have to offer you a contract. If your covenant is based on emotion and belief, they don't need to give you a contract. There is no contract. It's just belief. Believe this. Well, you can't believe that. You have to believe this. And then they get into this Protestant rightism, arguing over what to believe. They're arguing over what to believe because they don't have a covenant. If you have a covenant, I don't care what you believe, as long as your beliefs don't go off track. Okay, don't go to theosophy. Don't believe that. Don't go there, because if you believe that, well, you're going to start signing other contracts. That's what I'm saying. Accuracy is more important than agreement. You don't need 500,000 people. You need one Davidic holder to collapse kingdoms. So, as above, so below, domino effect. The astral collapse I witnessed was not an isolated event. I believe it served 20 years ago, 15 years ago, as a preview of systematic failure across dimensional layers, meaning Team David is handing out warrants. Okay? And these false kingdoms, who were once sustained by this ritual astral architecture with these witch people who were building them, remember we read in AI, they imploded upon contact because of registry back to presence. This collapse of the kingdom I saw was not symbolic. It was jurisdictional and architectural. And the same thing that happened in the astral realm under false authority is mirrored in Earth's institutionalized systems of religion, politics, economic, and cultural systems. So when Team David's up there collapsing systems in the astral, it's only a matter of time before they're going to collapse down here. Am I making sense? So the president of these covenant aligned authorities, they're initiating a chain reaction in the heavens. The astral infrastructure collapses first, followed by the destabilization of the systems of Babylon in the terrestrial. 20 years ago, when I was in the astral, 15 years ago, there were a few, but there weren't many saying Paul is false. Paul is false, astral kingdoms are collapsing. And it is on Earth. Do you see that? Do you see that? The glamored scaffolding, this AI Messiah theater, the Red Heifer rituals, Revelation Inc., it's all unraveling. The collapse is not chaotic and random, although it's being fed to you that way on the media. It is timed and precise. When an override presence enters the field, the fog bullshit lifts, illegal gates, illegal doors, don't open a door by playing with the Ouija board. That's what I'm talking about. Vectors are exposed. Remnants, people, activators, covenant holders are activated, and it begins to accelerate. So what was seen above as collapsing kingdoms is being echoed below. The dominoes are falling. That's what you're seeing. This reveals a dimensional breach architecture rooted in theology, glamored, corrupted theology, astral contacts, and false constructs. The Temple of Incal, the automatic writing, the ascended master lore are not benign. They are part of the false infrastructure, now echoed in mainstream spiritual and political covenants, as saw with Mike Flynn. The extraction event, covenant baptism, post-breach clarity demonstrate that jurisdictional override collapses astral kingdoms, and that presence alone, when aligned with the Son of David, triggers systematic collapse. So Pauline Christians are just New Age Egyptian cosmic Christ followers like everyone else. This is not slander. This is not blasphemy nor heresy. It is a dimensional audit, because Pauline theology teaches escape from earth, cosmic salvation, trinitarian baptism, and theology which matches Gnostic dualism, Egyptian sun god resurrection cycles, and New Age ascended master hierarchy. Sorry, not sorry. So if Pauline Christians are just glamored cosmic Christ followers in denial, our job in auditing the text next is, what's Babylon? Is Babylon the line of Judah? Because that's who they're telling us is coming. Is Paul connected to Babylon? Did he ever change teams? Because if he didn't, then all the Paulians are connected to Babylon, which is exactly what I've been saying. Okay? That's what we're saying. So back to this. Is the last days the covenant shift rather than the end of time? That's what we have to look at in Joel. I'm saying this end time stuff you're seeing is judgment, not global apocalypse. Last days is a covenantal shift. End times is specific judgment, not global. The whole world is cosmos versus ge. It's geopolitical context, land versus whole world. And we'll talk about our ages next. But wait, there's more. Because, guys, we're just getting warmed up. See you next time.
Energy. Energy. You cannot fuck with this. Energy. You cannot fuck with this energy. Love the doodles in the session. All of those who are listening. Don't miss the message, judging me. You cannot fuck with this energy.